Hello everyone, my name is Binks and welcome back to Let's Play The Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, where we're continuing in the third case of the game. And even though I don't really have time for this, I decided I'm just gonna record another episode anyway. Even though I really do need to do some other stuff. It's gonna have to be really quick because God, I'm busy. But I'm too intrigued, so I'm just gonna do it. Uh... oh, okay. Anyway, let's continue because what the frick? We just found a room upside down when we're looking for Drebber. So what's happened in here? Yeah. Yeah. And there's a bomb there, so I don't know how much time we have. Why is everything upside down? Rats! There ain't no one in here after all. Are we sure about that? I think they might be in here. Hopefully that bomb, I don't hear it ticking, so maybe we're okay? But there must be. It was only moments ago that we heard those noises. Yeah, I don't think they actually left. I don't see any windows open or anything, so I think they're making us think they left, but I think they might still be in here. Sus. Maybe that was the sound of Drebber running away? No. Press X to doubt. But there's only one door into this room. And no windows that could afford an escape route. Those skylights are too high, and yet there's footprints up there. But the windows are shut. So those footprints could have been made before? I don't know. I don't know. What's that up there? Are they footprints on the ceiling? Oh my, Greg said. Why'd you have to say that of all things? Blow me. What have we here then? What is he looking at? Why are we ignoring the bomb? The bomb that's right in the middle of the frickin' room? Looks like someone was trying to burn something in a hurry. Oh, that looks like a set of blueprints. Oh no. To what? To that Professor Harebrain's bombing machine, is it? Blimey! If we'd had these, there'd have been no need to muck about trying to investigate all that scrap metal. There is something of great interest here, too. This rope was lying on the floor at the foot of that pillar. A rope? What's significant about that? Well, you're gonna need it if you're gonna climb up somewhere, right? But what are you gonna hang it on? That's the thing. I don't see, like, anything easy to, like, climb? Never mind. You see, but you do not observe, Miss Nudahudu. What about the bomb? We must investigate the entire room thoroughly, and before the forensic investigation team arrive, too. Okay, now he's looking at it, thank goodness. But y'all were so casual and calm about the bomb. Like, it really bugs me. But I mean, clearly we're not too worried about it. Okay. Maybe it's not a big deal. Almost every piece of furniture is upside down. Even Mr. Holmes' suite isn't ever in this much of a mess. You're in no position to comment on mess, Mr. Nodohodo. But I suppose it's not quite the same thing, is it? I mean, it's not messy in here per se, it's that everything is literally upside down, which freaked Binks out last episode. But why? Yeah. It's very purposeful, right? Like, there must be a reason. I'm sus of the safe, so I'll leave that for... And look at this green balloon. Balloon man's balloon. That's a really lovely model. It looks just like a real flying balloon. I think it's probably staying aloft in the same principle as a full-size balloon, using gas. A green flying balloon. It does have the hallmarks of that amazing deception at the Great Exhibition, doesn't it? Could it be that the whole thing was planned here in this very workshop? I think so. Anything else of note other than the safe and the bomb? Nothing else really, huh? Okay, we could of course look at the skylights. There's no denying it, is there? They're footprints. Yes, it would appear so. And I simply can't imagine how they came to be there. Isn't there a Susato shoot-up or something? What, she's gonna fling somebody up there? Like a Susato takedown, I mean. I'm no Wonder Woman, Mr. Naruhodo. Imagining her in a Wonder Woman outfit. That'd be funny. That would make her almost superhuman, I suppose. You are a Wonder Woman. You're amazing. Alright, let's, before we look at the safe, let's look at the bomb. Mr. Holmes, have you found something? Because I'm sus on that safe. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, yes, in point of fact, something rather fascinating, which is probably going to put us all at risk. What do you make of this? Let's see. I've never seen anything like it before. Oh, so that's why none of you are reacting? None of you know that that's a bomb? Oh, well, I guess this is olden times, so if none of them have seen a bomb before, none of them would know that it's so dangerous. That explains a lot. Looks like a bundle of thick cigars wrapped in... Oh, okay. Mr. Sato, what's the matter? What was he saying? A bundle of thick cigars wrapped up in a large watch to me, but... Mr. Sato, what's the matter? That's a... Why did you finally realize it just now? Surely that's a time bomb, isn't it? What did you say? A time bomb? A time bomb? Sorry, but what is a time bomb exactly? You truly are one of a kind, Mr. Naruhodo. I guess you don't know what bombs are either, huh? I guess they're new back then? Gosh, technology. And we won't take that as a compliment. Huh! You don't know nothing, do you, Otto? You haven't got a clue what it is either, have you, Gina? I invite you to consult a dictionary later, Mr. Naruhodo. But this particular specimen is no time bomb, though I confess it has a very similar appearance. Oh? Oh, well, thank goodness, but then, what is it? What is it then? I see. So that's it. Is it just a clock that's made to scare the hell out of us? Goodness, Mr. Holmes, have you seen to the heart of the matter? There are times when I consider my lot most unfair. For I'm fated never to know how it feels to flounder as you do when a puzzle presents itself. But I have learnt to accept the hardships that come with being a great detective, Mr. Sato. Here we go. I feel a great deduction coming. Oh. Once again, I can draw two conclusions from the scene we see before us. The first is that the inverted nature of the furniture in this room is the work of Drebber himself. Yeah? Oh, but how could you? And the second conclusion is that the small device on the floor there is without question completely genuine. Please, Mr. Holmes, you must explain everything. It would be a pleasure. After all, it is a great detective's civic duty to teach Scotland Yard the finer points of the trade. Oh, that face, I love it. Well, Inspector Gregson seems delighted with the idea anyway. That's my face every time I have to work. Oh, I'm great, aren't I?
Oh, you deflected the inspector's glare with such fortitude there, Mr. Holmes. Well done.
You're too kind, my dear madam. I hereby dedicate this great deduction to you. Kindly stand just there, Miss Soto.
Oh, yes, I'd be delighted.
So, shall we begin? Once again, Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular, which is always, oh, so fun. Alright. Hopefully this won't take too long. The Great Deduction. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Flipped furniture. I hear furniture and I think of all the furniture I'm busy moving right now. Ah. None of mine are upside down, though. It's plain to see. Oh, God. I hear it's plain to see and I think of Sumugi in Danganronpa V3. No! That phrase has been ruined for me forever. It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table, the chairs, the lamp. Everything is upside down. I mean, the only issue we're having with this deduction is that without the guilty party to react incorrectly, like to react to things that are incorrect, I guess it's a little off, right? I guess that's what Susato is doing now. She's kind of serving as that person. So she'll probably react to the stuff like, when he's wrong, right? Almost as if every item in the room had, until recently, been happily positioned on the ceiling. Before falling... Yeah, that's what she's doing. Before falling straight down onto the floor.
Every item in the room was on the ceiling? Are you suggesting that...
Indeed, the key here is gravity. What the hell? No, it's weird to see him walking. It would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pool of the Earth. For the gravity in this room was reversed, and then suddenly restored to normality.
Goodness!
The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. I quite understand. Excuse me. I quite understand your skepticism, Miss Susato. I too was incredulous at first. However, my conviction in my analysis was cemented when I observed this. An anti-gravity device, almost identical to one that featured in a dream of mine only the other day, in fact. What? That ain't no anti-gravity device, sir.
But then why does it have a clock on it?
Like an actual bomb, sir. A most relevant question indeed. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. There was clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically. And the commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment that restoration occurred. No, we heard footsteps, you fool. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. So you see, we need to look no further to explain the state in which we now find this room. The direction in which gravity acts in here was reversed by Mr. Drebber, before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion sometime later by the timer device. I've witnessed precisely this scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed. Sir. Because gravity was reversed. Sure. Topic 2. Missing engineer. Ooh, excuse me. Missing engineer. Now let's consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads.
Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling?
A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Oh? Of course, Drebber's aim was singular, to escape, but they're closed. However, there is but one way into this room, excepting the skylight, that is.
Ah!
Oh! By inverting the gravity in here, Drebber was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way.
But the ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Holmes. If the gravity reversal was sudden, wouldn't Mr. Drebber have fallen up to the ceiling rather violently?
Thank you, Sato. Falling up is both scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel. But the man was cornered with nowhere to run, so escape through the skylight was his only option. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution.
Oh, the rope!
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? By anchoring one end to the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Which explains how Drebber was able to escape this room before our arrival. I do think the rope is important somehow. He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now, just for fun. This man has such wild ideas. Escaped via the skylight. Sure. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. How are you always so smart but so off? She's just ignoring him completely. She's completely spellbound. After all the times she knows he's wrong. Mr. Holmes, there's just one thing that troubles me. Just one? I would expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life. Wow. The thing is such a thing actually possible? An anti-gravity device, I mean. I would say that with man's current scientific knowledge at the turn of the 20th century, it's no more possible than instantaneous kinesis. Sir. But your whole deduction hinges on it. Ah, but my dear fellow, when you've eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Don't use your catchphrase at me. However improbable it may seem. Ah, I'm tired. It's a marvelous line, wouldn't you agree? One of my more enduring pearls of wisdom. Yes, it's great. You use it a lot. I had Iris come up with the exact phrasing. My original was clumsy. Yes, I have a feeling I've read it in something that Mrs. Sato lent me once. Oh, very rare to hear her say it.
Actually, there is one other thing, Mr. Holmes. Ah, the spell's broken at last. The rope you found was on the floor, wasn't it?
Indeed it was, in lonely coils near the wall.
But if Mr. Drebber had used it to escape in the way you described, wouldn't it still be tied to the wall?
Don't question my logic. Don't do this to me. You of all people. Mysteries inevitably unravel in the end, as I think you'll find do ropes. Ropes. Wow, Binks. Ropes, yes. And as evidence of such, you need only look at the mystery we faced in this room, now skillfully unraveled.
That argument is as circular as the coils of rope. I think perhaps we might need to give Mr. Holmes the usual little helping hand. I'm sure with some minor corrections, the great detective's great deduction will lead us to the truth. Yes, you're right. And we must do it quickly before Enoch Drebber gets too far away.
Or, as I have a feeling I know where he's at, and I think he might die if we don't help him, so let's get a move on. Oh my god, he's so stupid. If you're ready, then let us resume. Sherlock Holmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Yes, yes, we're talking such a long time that I think Enoch Drebber might die.
Hold it, Mr. Holmes.
I think he's inside the safe, you guys. I mean, we found a dead body in the safe in many games ago in Ace Attorney, so I think there's no air in there. So won't he die if he stays inside? Why would you put yourself inside the safe, you fool? There's no air. Wouldn't he have been better going inside that bureau that's behind them over there? Wardrobe. Nobody's looking at it, so I think he would have been safer in there, but I guess he figured nobody could get inside the safe. But aren't you in danger inside the safe? And how are you gonna get out? How are you gonna get out, sir? I mean, maybe it's open, maybe you didn't lock it, but like, bruh, you can't breathe in there. Alright. The bed, blah blah blah. Upside down. Whew. I hope he at least left the safe open a crack, but it doesn't look like it. Falling. Gosh, I'm hungry. Okay, let's end this so I can eat something before I get back to work. Gravity. It's just so weird to see him walking. It was not reversed. I guess he manually flipped it. Okay, inverted furniture.
To think gravity could have been reversed in this very room. I find the whole idea utterly enthralling. Only Mr. Holmes could conceive of such an explanation. But the man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so... Yes, you're quite right. We must completely discount the idea at once. Oh, that's unusually merciless of you, Mrs. Sato. I like it. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The great detective himself said so, didn't he? While refusing to part with his dreams of anti-gravity devices. Yes, I suppose so. Well, let's see if examining this topsy-turvy scene a little more closely reveals some proof that shows exactly what the gravity in this room was or wasn't doing.
Okay. What here breaks the laws of Holmesian gravity theory? Inverted furniture. What are we looking at? Inverted furniture. Must be something else. Everything is inverted. Look at the large safe. Can we talk about the safe finally?
Ah, look, Mr. Sato. When everything seems to be upside down in here, the safe is conspicuously the right way up.
Wait. He said it way too quick.
Have you noticed? Yes, that's true. But look more closely at the safe's feet.
Ah, that's a lot. That's a lot of very large bolts fixing it to the floor. Think before you speak. That's what you wanted to say, isn't it? I really put my foot in my mouth there.
I certainly didn't say that.
Still want to talk about the safe, though. Interesting that it's bolted to the floor, though. Inverted. So everything else is inverted. And that was bolted to the floor. Oh! But, I just saw it. This is an upright vase. Huh. Weird. Well, well, I wasn't expecting to find a pretty bunch of flowers in here, that's for sure.
Ah, look at that.
I know, that slender little vase looks like it's about to topple at any moment, but the flowers are thriving. Somehow it makes you think of the fragility of life, wouldn't you say?
To be honest, Mr. Naruhodo, something else about it made a rather deeper impression on me.
Okay. So we will present that. Yeah. Why is that upright? The upright vase clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you've surpassed yourself by completely turning my argument on its head. Ha ha! Get it? Trying to impress your assistant here, perhaps? Hey, no shipping allowed. No. No one is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Holmes. Trust me. As you rightly say, though it appears at first glance that all the furniture in the room is upside down. This unassuming, slender vase is standing keenly to attention. And unlike the large safe, there is nothing affixing it to the floor. Yeah. And it's the exception that breaks the rule. In short, as much as it pains me, the gravity in this room was never inverted at all. My deepest sympathies for your loss. That was broken so quickly.
Oh, poor Mr. Holmes.
Don't cry for him. But the show must go on, so let us continue with our deductions. Now that we know this contrivance is not in fact an anti-gravity device, there remains but one other possibility. You don't say. Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound obvious, but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that? Quite, and naturally there is an explanation. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. No. He's absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, isn't he?
I'm afraid the lure of an exciting scientific explanation is too strong.
Bruh, that's a frickin' bomb. Well, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all this furniture over, like a lunatic. So whoever it was must have had a reason.
I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though.
Well, let's look around and see if the answer presents itself. Okay. Is there like a diagram? A board? Oh. Who the hell writes the combination to the safe underneath their furniture? What a weirdo. Well, that's weird. Look, there's something written on the underside of this armchair. What the frick? I guess he figured that's somewhere that nobody would look, so... What the hell?
Oh yes, safe 432582. Safe, as in safe and secure?
As in secure lockable box, I think.
Admittedly, more likely.
Well, there is a large safe bolted to the floor on the other side of the room, so yes.
So you mean this number would let us open it?
I wonder why it's written here, though. Alright. I do want to go open it right away, but yeah, this is it.
Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination, which is
Freaking insane, but okay. How the hell did they come up with this idea? Oh. Precisely. I believe, Mr. Nudahodo, that you had a very similar experience once, did you not?
Yes, last year. When I bought a lottery ticket and noted the ticket number down on the inside cover of a book, just in case.
You did?
That's it.
That's it. For people are forgetful souls at heart and always make a written note of important information. Just keeping the ticket itself safe would be more sensible, I think. And what, pray, happened next, Mr. Nudahodo?
When the day of the draw came round, I'd forgotten which book I'd written the number in and had to turn my room upside down to find it.
That's it. For people are forgetful souls at heart and always forget where they've noted things down. Not if you always note things in the same place. Exactly.
I actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember which magazine I'd slipped the ticket into, so I had to turn my room upside down.
Oh, you fool! Thank you, Mr. Nudahodo, but I believe I've proved my point now. Which is that a very similar scenario has clearly unfolded in this room.
Finding himself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room needed the combination code. He remembered that he'd written it on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one, leading to the state in which we now find the room.
Yes, Mr. Drebber overturned all the furniture in here, in a desperate hurry to locate the combination code that would unlock the safe. Which means he doesn't use that safe very often. To find the safe combination. And then shove himself in there, I think. Alright, let's talk about that now. Now, let us consider the next conundrum. This is going on longer than I thought it would. Hurry, I'm hungry. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads. Yes, how is it possible there are footprints all the way up there in the ceiling? Okay, I mean that is big, but... Skylight, no. Well, if a change in the direction of gravity can't explain it, then how did those footprints get there?
Yes, I feel as though that particular mystery has just become even harder to solve.
I can't think of any other way to explain it at all. I mean, it has to do with the rope somehow. But what did he put the rope on? I don't even see anything that could go on there. Oh, life was so much simpler in those halcyon days when gravity could be reversed.
It was minutes ago, and those halcyon days never existed in the first place.
Well, I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Holmes and observe the area in more detail.
Putting our faith in Mr. Holmes is what gets us into these situations in the first place.
Yeah. Well, we know there's the balloon. Oh, there's... What the frick? A shoe? And there's footprints, so he walked on the balloon. So did he put the rope around the balloon? He can actually walk on there?
This is a gas balloon, isn't it? It's tiny, but it does seem to be a real balloon. How could he walk on there?
Yes, I think you're right. I think it's helium that's keeping it up.
A green gas balloon. Why does that seem to ring a bell with me? If you can see, there are footprints on this balloon too. Look. Oh yes, surely that's a clue, isn't it? Though what it tells us, I'm not sure. God, how... And the shoe. It's hard to believe, but... There's a shoe up there, look! Oh yes, and there are more footprints on this little balloon, too. Perhaps the shoe was thrown up there and became lodged, do you think? If so, then judging from the number of footprints, it must have been thrown up several times?
So he's throwing the shoe?
Why would anyone be throwing shoes up at the ceiling, though?
Oh, so he's using the rope to throw the shoe to make it look like he's walking up there. Got it. That makes more sense because him having actual weight and walking up there, and then like if that balloon is up there with just helium, that wouldn't make any... I was like, there's no way he could be able to walk on that balloon. That, you know? But man, for him to be able to put such perfectly... Like, seriously, for his shoe to land so neatly and perfectly... Like, damn, dude. That's so, like, I don't know if I believe that. Like, the amount of pressure and weight you would have to put. You know, you would have to really press down firmly and neatly for it to form those kind of footprints. So I don't know. I don't really buy that. Whatever. It should be half-formed. It shouldn't be perfect.
Oh dear. That's beyond me, I'm afraid.
I call bull on that. You know? But it's a video game, so whatever. So he's throwing the shoe up there to form these footprints. So it's because of the shoe? He's throwing the shoe? I guess? And they must have like ink or something on it? Oh, that's so weird. That's... alright.
The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe. And on closer inspection...
Oh, and on close inspection, there are clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. In other words, the aim was never the skylight at all, but the balloon.
But for what purpose?
A green balloon. That seems somewhat familiar, Data.
It was a piece of a green balloon's envelope that... Oh, it was a piece of a green balloon's envelope that Mr. Naruhodo and Iris found at the scene. And inside the green balloon that Mr. Gotts claims he saw above the stage when the incident occurred was the second birdcage, the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception. You mean to say...
If we assume the balloon in here is a model of the one used on the day, there's a strong possibility something may be concealed inside it. Oh? Something our absconder was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway. Oh, like a clue, okay. So we need to get that down. Can someone, like, shoot at it to get it down?
But the balloon's out of reach.
We have a detective here. Hence why he resorted to a projectile, namely the shoe. Ah. Most probably, Drebber intended to tear a hole in the envelope by assailing it with the shoe. However, his efforts were thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner of those lofty heights.
Oh dear. We desperately need to examine that balloon. If only there was some way we could see inside.
You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution. Yeah, the rope.
Oh, the rope.
My nose.
Sorry.
Ugh.
Mr. Holmes has managed to bring the deduction back to the rope.
Alright, I have to admit that was clever. So we just throw the rope up to the balloon and then pull it down to us on the ground?
No, it needs something attached to it.
The arrows, maybe? From the other room?
Which is much easier said than done, I feel. And could take us a very long time as well.
True. Perhaps we need a more surefire method. In fact, we already have one, of course, don't we?
Do we? Oh, crossbow. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow?
That was found at the scene, in fact.
And in all likelihood belongs to Mr. Drebber. Yeah. If the man had only brought it away with him that day, he could have avoided losing a shoe at such a critical time as this.
Yeah. And we have the arrows, yeah.
So, shall we? Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. Yes, let's go. I gotta go eat. I'm hungry. What is it that Enoch Drebber has hidden inside that balloon? Oh! The head!
Ah!
What the?
That's the head of the waxwork. Are we going full on like Man in the Iron Mask up in here? That is from like, I don't know how many of you guys know of the Man in the Iron Mask of Alexander Dumas wrote the story of like the Three Musketeers and the Man in the Iron Mask, like based on history and like French history. Oh my god, like D'Artagnan and Aramis, Porthos, Athos. Those are like the Three Musketeers. And it's like kind of based on history and like, oh my god, that's like Prince Louis and like his twin brother, and it's really fascinating time of history, and I don't know how much of it's based on truth and stuff. But like he had a twin brother, and his twin brother was like the one who was like locked in a prison, and he was forced to wear an iron mask like this. Really fascinating movies. I think Leonardo DiCaprio was in it, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen it in a really long time. Really interesting movie. But damn, son. So, I mean, they did say that nobody knows what the professor looked like or whatever, right? So it makes sense then that they would put that mask on him. Holy crap! So that's his head for the waxwork. But then how, on the date of the incident, how did they have it that it... No, on the stage it was the real guy. But in the bird cage from far, it didn't matter, I guess. Like, as long as there's just a body in there. Damn. Okay, so we got the head. Damn, that's so exciting. Okay. Okay. What the? A waxwork. Indeed it is. A waxwork head inside a metal mask. A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock. So we can't see the face inside. That means... Just a moment, this is the head of a waxwork model? Does that mean... Oh, goodness. I see you've joined the dots, Mr. Sato. Excellent. Ah, of course, a headless waxwork model. The case of the abducted Madame Tuspel's model that you'd largely solved. It was only the head of the killer that was still missing.
Indeed it was. But I believe Madame Tuspels will now have to settle her sizable account with me. This, as you have now surmised, is the head of the infamous Professor.
Yes. But why is it here?
This conclusively confirms my suspicions. The man responsible for stealing the Professor from Madame Tuspels, yeah, and returning it sans tête earlier today was none other than Enoch Drebber. And of course he would think to do that because he was connected to the Professor case.
This is incredible. Professor Harebrain's case and the waxwork abduction are then inextricably linked by Enoch Drebber's workshop.
I mean, I called it ages ago, so...
The waxwork head has been entered into the court record.
I mean, I was wondering when we would get that thing back, but glad we got it now. Well, it appears our logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. Time to open the safe and let that man out before he dies. All that remains is, yes, to speak with the architect of this adventure.
The architect? You mean Mr. Drebber?
As it seems quite impossible that he escaped via one of the skylights. Obviously, the man must still be here in the room.
What?
And his location should be abundantly clear if you simply reflect on the journey we've made together during this deduction.
Enoch Drebber is right here, somewhere in this room?
So, Mr. Nodohodo, will you do the honors?
Yes, of course. Mr. Drebber's hiding place must be the...
Alright. I mean, I was sus of that safe. I was sus of the safe. Oh, here we go. That's why I did not click on it. I was sus of it because I was like, it's a safe. Come on. I thought I would have a chance to inspect it before we... I didn't know we were going to have a deduction. But yeah.
Look at all that mess in front of the safe.
Yes, plans and accounting ledgers.
Almost as if somebody was in a hurry to empty the contents of the safe, in fact. Before we gained access to this back room, we heard noises from in here.
Which tells us that the engineer was still in the building at that point in time.
He was in fact searching for the combination to his safe.
And pressed for time, he made no attempt to right the furniture that he overturned in the process, from which we can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently indeed. In summary, Mr. Enoch Drebber is at this very moment inside the safe. It's not locked. I see it open. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes's great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. So he should be able to just come out, but damn, dude, you should be so hot and sweaty and you need air. Deduction complete. Elementary. Alright, we done so I can eat? To be continued. This investigation portion has been so long. So, Mr. Naruhodo, I think perhaps it's time we ended this game of hide and seek, don't you?
By opening the safe, you mean?
What else?
Let's see. The combination was
432-582. I knew that. Alright then, here goes. So it was locked? Bruh, you should be dead. See? No air! How are you still alive? Oh my god, that's so uncomfortable. Your neck, Jesus Christ. You tall mother. Unrealistic. Oh my gosh. Do you have a fake hand too? I thought it was just your eye, but that looks like you have a fake hand. You found me. Why are you moving like this? Oh my god, sir! What are you, a robot? Android? Why are you moving like that? Damn, they've really shown off their animation. Okay. Mr. Roboto over here. You got some dance moves? Okay, he's kind of kooky. He may be the bad guy, but he's gonna make me laugh. Right then, so, Mr. Enoch Drebber, I presume. Correct. I don't know what voice to give you, man. You're kind of robotic. You're kind of robotic. I kind of want to give you a robot voice. Yeah, let me do it, because nobody else is gonna have a robot voice, and you're kind of kooky. Let me give you a robot voice. Why not? Correct. You'd better start talking. You tricked Professor Hairbrain with that bogus machine you built. He's kind of making me laugh.
And you shall have to explain the theft of the waxwork from Madame Dispel's as well.
Whilst I would be delighted to answer your many questions. Personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little parcel first.
Yeah, I knew that was a frickin' bomb.
Deactivate?
Your parcel?
I refer, of course, to the time bomb. I left it in a most prominent position, and yet you fools have not even tried. We're all going to die.
Oh my god, Sherlock, you idiot!
Ha ha ha. I see. Stunned silence. You're all gearing up to die with me then. Oh, you are evil, but you're also kind of making me laugh.
No! Mr. Holmes, with only 7 seconds to spare, what is wrong with you?
That was too close for comfort. I've got one foot in the grave already. What is wrong with you? Are you trying to help us get a killer or get us killed?
Mr. Holmes's deductions can be completely life-altering, can't they?
In the worst way possible. Well, my dear fellows, that was a close shave. Oh my god, Sherlock, I want to smack you. The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say, you idiot. No, no, no. Stop it.
Anti-gravity devices don't exist.
I'm glad she's actually mad at him for once. Don't let him get away with this BS. Whew, I wouldn't push it, Mr. Holmes. You're asking to be getting a Susato-san takedown.
God, when will this end? I thought this investigation portion would end. Why is this so long? I'm so hungry.
Ugh. How long? Sir? What on earth happened in here? You found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. Everything in here is precisely what it seems.
Yeah, we'll be giving it a thorough going over. Don't you worry, Drebber.
What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my workshop that I was not expecting.
I love his movements.
When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt.
Whistling?
Oh, that would have been me.
Oh,
For some reason, I woke in fine fettle today. No words, just tightly squeezed chips.
Clearly, I must have a screw loose, though, as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. And another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I'd written it down.
We also found a rope over by the wall.
Yes, I had hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly the rope was too short. So I then set about searching for the combination code to open the safe.
And burning the incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Regrettably, though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters.
He's acting very smug and smarmy, but he's kind of an idiot, isn't he?
And after that, you hid yourself inside the safe, having first set this parcel ticking.
Well, I had no intention of being nailed by the police. Don't think you're going to be a sympathetic guy, but who knows?
Got a death wish, have ya? Hiding right beside a ticking time bomb.
Maybe he would have survived because he was inside the safe? Please, why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe? It's no ordinary safe. It's specially designed. A dynamite explosion wouldn't leave a scratch on it. But how would you breathe, sir? Unless you don't need air? Because you're kind of robotic. I'm like, are you human still?
So in fact, the safe was the only safe place.
Precisely.
but once you'd climbed inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again.
I invite you to look more closely. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within. Yeah, I did see that.
Ah, so it is.
I had always intended to blow this place to smithers in any case. I just wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw up my plans.
Do you mean to say you were planning to blow us all up?
I mean, no, that was unforeseen.
What do you mean?
Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet. Well, they didn't even know that's what it was. That's the problem. I calculated the time required for retreat to a safe distance and set the device accordingly. But your seemingly endless discourse in here threw a spanner in the works.
Looks at Sherlock. Is something wrong, Gregson? The dirtiest look.
You almost got them killed.
Do I have something on my face besides the usual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth? Yes, your face, which I would love to punch. I think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here now. But what about the two incidents you've evidently been involved in recently? Professor Harebrain's instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Great Exhibition, and the waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to.
That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. Oh. Safely. I've been considering carrying it around as protection.
Oh, that's enough. What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here.
Yes, well.
Dr. Scythe again. So the forensic investigation team are here. And you know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer access to him? If Lord Strongheart knew of this, you'd be finished. You lot, leave at once. My dear madam, there's no need for such a threatening tone, I assure you. After all, that's no way to greet an old acquaintance, is it, Dr. Scythe? Hello, Holmes. Mr. Holmes knows Dr. Scythe.
He knows everybody, apparently.
If it's protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you are quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a shell you... Get out. But of course, we'll show ourselves the door. I see you haven't softened at all. Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today. But Mr. Holmes... Let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands. I said get out. Now, all of you. Your presence here is not required either, Gregson.
Understood. But I'll just say one thing before I head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we'd never have found this place, and the whole workshop would have been blown to bits.
Exactly. Thank you.
There was a time bomb set in here that this lot disarmed.
Inspector.
Something giving you a chuckle, has it, Drebber?
Ah, so sorry. Didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? Yes, you did disarm that one.
What are you? That one? You mean...
Oh no, get out of there! There's more? Oh no! Oh my god! Those poor cops! Jesus Christ! It was an hour later that we heard the news
of the enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage at the Great Exhibition.
Jesus! He just wanted to get rid of any more evidence. Oh my god.
Professor Harebrain's invention and all its secrets were blown away forever.
Dear Lord. So they didn't even get to continue looking into the freaking machine itself. Jesus. Wow. This was a long episode. Dang it, I'm so hungry. Oh no. This man thought of everything. Oh, he's bad. He's real bad. Okay. No redeeming him. Okay, that answers that question. He's real bad. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. Oh, God, this was much longer than I thought it would be. Look what I suffer. I suffered. Oh, sacrifice. But anyway, until next time, hope you have a nice day. Bye bye.